Hi everyone, welcome to A to B Model Railways and our June shop update video. As you can tell, I'm not in the shop yet. I am sat in the car. It is 8:30. I've just arrived in the car park in Matlock Bath. It's Sunday the 15th of June. It's Father's Day. I've not seen my little girl yet. She is zedding away at home having a much needed lie-in because she's full of either hay fever or a cold of some kind. She really wasn't very well yesterday, so she's getting a much needed catch-up of sleep. And I shall see her later. Well, I've come here for our Sunday trading. This video is called Meet the Shop Owner. It's a video I mentioned I was going to do during the Shop Move series last month. And it's because I never did one when I started the channel. So I think it's a good time to do one to give all the subscribers and the new subscribers a chance to get to know me as the shop owner. And we've got plenty more new subscribers because following on from the Shop Move series of videos, we've had a real jump in subscribers, or at least in terms of this channel anyway. And a lot of people have got in touch with me or come into the shop or some at the Ruddington show the other week to say how much they enjoyed the Shop Move series, how they followed it all the way through, subscribe to us as a result, and the 10% offer that I did in the Ruddington video, which was the last one I did, actually netted us quite a few sales. So it's really nice to know that the videos are doing what they're doing, people are enjoying them, and it's promoting the shop and driving business to the site. So if you are a new subscriber, welcome to us. Thank you for joining us, and to all our subscribers and customers, thank you for our support. This is the Meet the Shop Owner video. I'm going to be answering the questions that people have posted to me throughout the video. And I'm going to do the video as a sort of day in the life of the shop. So here I am. I'm going to get out of the car and I'm going to head down to the shop. And while I do that, let's cue the titles. So here we are, we're in the new shop, lots more space behind the counter, and even though I've not switched the lights on yet, you can still see, which you couldn't have done in the old shop, it'd been pitch black. First job I always do is get the money in the till, and that means I know that's done, I can lock everything away, and then can get started for preparing the shop for the rest of the day. It's a bit of a rush on a Sunday morning because I actually open at 10 o'clock, every other day is 10:30. And a few people have asked me about that. Why do I open at 10 o'clock on a Sunday? And it's really been for two reasons. One, it gets really busy down here on a Sunday, not this early, but parking can be a bit of an issue. So I open early so the modelers can come down, they can get their stuff first thing. There's space to park on the parade outside. They can get in and out before sort of the bikers arrive, the tourists arrive, and get what they need. So that's the first reason. And the second reason is sort of a selfish reason, really. I'm just used to getting up early on a Sunday morning. Even when I was teaching, I never had a lie-in because I used to play five-a-side football on a Sunday morning down at a sports centre in Derby. And our games were always morning games, sometimes as early as 9:20. So I was always up early to go and play football, and it set me up for the rest of the day. So I've just got into that habit of getting up early on a Sunday. So that's why I start early. There we go. The first question people ask me is, what got me into model railways? And I suppose like everybody else in my generation, I became interested in model railways through my dad. He was a child of the 50s and 60s. He grew up when steam was still working on the national network. And he's always told me stories of how he used to go train spotting down the Arch Bridge near Derby Station after school with his mates. And they used to hang on in the evening until the Palatine came through, the named express, because there was always a chance sort of something special like a Britannia would be on it. And they get really excited when they saw the shape of a Britannia in the distance. And they get really disappointed because it was always one of the same two, usually William Shakespeare or Iron Duke. They've got fed up of seeing them, which ironically nowadays, if William Shakespeare or Iron Duke steamed to Derby Station, we'd be delighted because they've been long since scrapped. It's amazing how perceptions change. But you know, my dad brought me up on a diet of Thomas the Tank Engine books. We used to go down to Derby City Centre on a Saturday morning and buy some of the latest Reverend Audrey books, and Christopher Audrey when he carried on the series afterwards. And he took me to Preserve Railways. One of my earliest memories is a trip behind Mayflower on the Great Central down to Rothley, and another trip behind a little 060 Hunslet, I think it was, called Robert Nelson number 4. If anyone could tell me where that loco is, I'd be delighted to know, because I know where Mayflower is, but Robert Nelson, no clue at all. My dad built my first train set, or first model railway. I had a train set for Christmas, a little HO Lima set with a 060 Fowler 4F and some eclectic mix of wagons. I've still got the loco and a couple of the wagons, but they don't run so well anymore. But yeah, little train set which used to live in our conservatory. We sort of lifted out from the wall and laid on the floor when I wanted to play with it. Sort of oval of track with a passing loop on one of the curves and a couple of sidings off the bottom straight. A little level crossing and painted roads, and I used to run my cars on it. So that's really where I owe my interest in model railways from, really. And it's never gone away. Trains and model railways have been in interest all my life. I volunteer at the Great Central Railway periodically. I used to work in the sheds when I was 15, 16. Then was station staff for a while at Cornwall House, and because they never used to open midweek at the time, I graduated on to being a travelling ticket collector, which is what I do now when I'm free. Don't do many turns a year because I'm not often free now with the shop, but I've done a couple this year, so hopefully get a few more. So that's really where my interest comes from. And when I got my first house, my granddad built me my first baseboards, and I started developing my first layout. And my first completed layout is the one that's on display in the shop, Scaleby West, which I built for a model railway exhibition, which I organised at the school where I was working. Worked at West-on-Trent Primary School for about 17 years, and I ran an exhibition there to raise funds for the school, and built the layout for that. So when I left teaching, I suppose going into model railways was a natural progression, really. So that's where it's come from. Right, on with the setup. So it's just about 9:30. I've just given the floor a quick vacuum, got that all done, although the vacuum cleaners decided to conk out on me for some reason. I don't know why. That's not a good start today. Things seem to be happening wrong again. I managed to bash my arm on the boot of the car when I was taking my bags out this morning, so that's gone wrong. Vacuum cleaner seems to be messing up. So that's 2. They say things happen in 3, so I wonder what the next one's going to be. But yeah, I usually try and give the shop a quick clean in the morning. How did I decide the venue for the shop? Well, that was actually quite straightforward. When I decided I was going to open the shop, and this is going back to sort of May 2018, I'd come out of teaching because of ill health. I was sat at home, sort of stuck on the sofa on antidepressants because I've been suffering with stress and anxiety due to some very unfortunate workplace bullying and some sort of bad experiences towards the end of my teaching career. And I didn't really know what I was going to do next. And I'd been starting to sell my father-in-law's collection around the toy fairs at the time. And it was sort of a break from the difficulties I was having, and really quite enjoyed it. And I'd always had a dream to own a model shop. It was going to be my lottery escape. If I ever won the lottery, I was going to retire and open a model shop. I was going to have it in a tourist location. If I'd won the lottery, it would have been at a seaside resort, probably Whitby, which is my favourite place. But I was starting this in a very different way. And so when I looked at what I could do, when I started thinking about opening a shop, the main tourist location was here in Matlock Bath. It is the seaside resort without the sea, with all the arcades and fish and chip shops. And whenever I used to come here with the family in school holidays and whatever, it was always teeming with people. And just up the road, there was a shopping complex. It's an old mill building called Massey Mill. And Hornby used to have a concession there, and it was a great place to visit. I used to go every school holiday because on the bottom floor, you've got the cafe serving all-day breakfasts, wonderful cakes, coffee. And then next to it was the Hornby outlet selling Hornby, Scale Electrics, Airfix, Corgi, and the real ale and whiskey shop. So it was just perfect for me. And next door to that was the children's play area. So my daughter could go on the play area, I could browse the Hornby, and I always would come out of there with some kind of purchase. When that closed down, and it was quite popular, when it closed down because Hornby were in financial difficulty, it was around the time that I was looking for a venue. So I thought, well, Matlock Bath, tourists, the concession for Hornby just gone from Massey Mill, I'd be filling a gap in the market. And that's why I chose here. I happened to Google shops available for sale and available for rent, and there were 2 units available in the George Centre at the time. Unit 2, which is the one on the corner of the alleyway next door, and Unit 3, the one up the alleyway, which is the one I ended up going in, of course. And I chose that one purely because it had more wall space. It fitted what I wanted to do better. Unit 2 was smaller, more windows, and it was slightly more expensive for being on the front. So I took the decision to have the slightly larger Unit 3 with a greater wall space to put the shelves on. And it all happened very quickly. I think I went to view it in May. First time I went, the landlord turned up, he hadn't got the keys to let me in. So I had to just peer through the window. And I came down to see the current tenant about a week later. She was retiring because of ill health. Looked at it, did the measurements. Within 2 weeks, I got the lease agreed. I was in the July and opened in the August. So it all happened really, really quickly. So the choice was very, very easy. So it's 10 o'clock, shop's now open for business. As you've seen, everything's outside the front, all the baskets, everything pegged to the front of the window, and things still pretty quiet out there, so usually picks up over the next hour or so. We'll see how we get on. The question about what would I do to make this shop different if money was no object? That's a difficult question, because how can you make your shop unique in such a crowded market? And I was conscious of that when I opened A2B Model Railways. You know, there are a lot more established model shops, bigger shops, those who dominate the online, those who've been going for years. And I was very conscious that I was a new kid on the block. How was I going to compete? And what would the reaction be? It's been very interesting in terms of the reaction, because the very first exhibition I went to, one of the established model shops was also trading there. And I was quite nervous because they've got a bit of a reputation for being not just grumpy, but also quite forthright in their opinions. And I was quite fearful of what their reaction would be. And they came over, they were really friendly, they offered advice. And to be honest, they've been really helpful to me over the 6.5 years I've been in business. I know that if I'm short of a model, if I can't get it from Backman, a customer wants it, I can pick up the phone, I can give them a call. And if they've got it, they'll help me out, we'll do a deal. And likewise, if I've got stuff that they want, they know they can give me a call and I'll help them out. A couple of Christmases ago, I got a delivery delay from Backman. It was stuck in the DPD warehouse. And I picked up the phone, gave them a call, asked for a couple of models, Thomas models that a customer was wanting. They wanted something in mind. We did a sort of exchange of stock and everyone was happy, got the stuff for Christmas. And we helped each other, and that's how it should be. There's another model shop in the area. The guy won't even talk to me. He completely blanks me every time I see him. But there you go. So I was never wanting to sort of compete and be as big as those shops, because that wasn't possible. But the one thing a lot of shops have, and not every shop, I'm not branding every shop in the same way, but the big box shifters, the ones who dominate the online market, and some of the bigger shops in the area, either they're a little bit faceless, you don't know who you're dealing with, or they're probably not the friendliest of people. could be a bit grouchy, a bit grumpy, not very approachable. So I always brand myself not as the biggest shop, not as the most well-stocked shop, but as the friendliest model shop in the area. And if I can be that person who's available to chat to, if you come in, be personable, have a chat. If I haven't got something, I can order it in, and just be helpful in that way and supportive of my modelers. And also in terms of pricing, I try to keep my prices equivalent to those big box shifters online. You know, I don't charge RRP. I always bring the prices down as low as I can physically do. So I suppose for me to be unique, it's not about having the money to do that. It's about just trying to be the best shop we can be. And so by being the friendliest shop, by being personable, by being approachable, by being honest with my customers, and by trying to get stuff if I can't get it, even if I haven't got it, I'm trying to get stuff if I haven't got it, if it's not in stock, just trying to do that extra mile. I hope that makes A2B Model Railways a little bit unique. And it was quite nice that somebody commented on a previous video and said that they felt that my videos and my comments on the videos came straight from the heart. They felt that I really meant what I was saying, because that's what I tried to do. You know, it's my hobby. I'm doing a job that I chose to do because of difficult circumstances in my hobby, and I try to be that supportive model shop. So that's what I try and do. So it's about 12:30. We've been open 2.5 hours, and things have been pretty busy. In fact, this is the first opportunity I've had to post an update video since I opened this morning. We've had over 100 people through the door. We've taken about 60 odd quid, which at this stage of Sunday is not too bad if you're relying just on toys. So yeah, I'm fairly happy so far. I think the question about what my favourite loco is in terms of the time I've been at the shop, there have been so many really excellent models released over the last sort of 6.5 years, and it would be very easy to pick something like the Turbo Motive with the sound fitted working lights, or the Hornby Black 5, which was one of the other new releases that had the working lights, or even those that had the steam generator. But the one I'm going to choose is actually a Bachmann 009 model of the little Quarry Hunslet locomotive. Bright red, named Alice, open cab. And I remember it's the only locomotive that I've actually kept when it came into stock in the shop. I was taking the models out of the box from Bachmann to put into the cabinet when they arrived in the old shop a few years ago. And I picked one up, and the back plate of the cab had sort of come off in the box. It was rattling around loose, and I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to send it back. So I took it out of the box, realised it was just a clip fit, put it back together, placed it on the palm of my hand, and looked at it and thought, what a work of art that is. It's so tiny and so much detail packed into the cab that it's the only model I've actually kept when it came into the shop. So for me, that's my favourite model. And it's proved so popular that Bachmann are actually doing a re-release of the Quarry Hunslet Alice, as well as one of the cabbed versions in blue. They're going to come out next year, and we are taking pre-orders from them. So if you want an Alice or one of the others, then you can get a special offer price if you pre-order it from us via email or telephone. It's part of our special offers that we're running today. These offers are valid till the end of the month of June, so get your orders in very, very quickly, and contact us if you want to get one of those locos. They are fantastic, and no wonder Bachmann are re-releasing them because they've proved so popular. So that's it. It's about 4:30 on Sunday afternoon. First opportunity I've had since lunch to actually film another part of the video, and this is the last part of today's video. I'm knelt down by the static grass stand. You'll notice we've got some empty hooks because the Bachmann delivery has not arrived yet. There's some bits and pieces that are out of stock, so we're going to have to wait for arrival of static grass. But I'm populating one of our static grass mystery boxes, which has been bought on our eBay shop for £20 this morning. So I have the box, And we say it's £20 and you get £25 worth of products. So I've got a couple of light green 12mm static grass packs from Woodland Scenics going in here, £6.50 a pop. So already there's £13 worth of stock going in there. I'm going to put some briar patch in there to add a bit of rough grass. That's £11. So I've already got over the 25 there. That's £24 already, but I'm going to populate it with some more of the Javis grasses as well, £3.75 each, couple of packs of them going in there. So that's going to give them quite a good price of product for their money. These are available on our website and also our eBay shop. So if you fancy one, get in touch. We also do ballast mystery boxes, scatter mystery boxes as well, and some starter packs for static grasses and for ballast. So just a different way of getting your stock for a cost-effective price. I know we covered them last summer in our summer special video. The final question I've been asked is, what developments do I expect to see in the hobby over the next few years? We've been in business for, as I say, 6.5 years now, and there have been a lot of things happened during that period of time. Lots of new developments, lots of new technology. Hornby have introduced working lights on factory fitted models, mentioned the Turbomotive and the Black 5 earlier in the video. We've seen the steam generator start to appear. Got some customers waiting for their pre-orders of that, which are filtering through now. We're in the new shop. That's an impressive development from Hornby, with the working smoke generator linked with the sound and the lights, giving a realistic steam locomotive. Bachmann have gone sound fitter deluxe on their diesel locomotives. They've got the working fans and the tinted windscreens, and a greater range of sounds on their models, and with their 08s automatic uncoupling as well as another development. So certainly the main manufacturers have really pushed the boat out over the last 6.5 years, and that's without considering Hornby's dive into TT120 as well, which we've not yet got into the shop, because at the time it came out we were not considered big enough to stock the range. So maybe in time we will get that. But what would come next? I mean, where can we go in the hobby? I suppose that's a difficult question, but I think for me, with all the sound and the lights and the steam, possibly factory fitted 00 gauge remote control. Maybe that's something that could come on board. Now, this is my feeling, not any sort of insider knowledge, you understand, but maybe being able to run a locomotive radio controlled off some kind of rechargeable battery, perhaps in the smoke box of a 00 gauge loco, if the technology exists to make a battery that small to recharge. If it doesn't now, I'm sure in the next 6 years it will. Be perfect for garden modelers, wouldn't it? I know people do that now, sort of cottage industry. But how about having a massive layout where you can radio control it without having to wire up the track and whatever? That would be something a little bit different. So maybe we're going to see that coming. I'm sure there'll be additional detail, other gimmicks. Who knows? It's an ever-changing hobby, and it has moved on a lot in the last 6.5 years. But it is a really enjoyable one, and I'm really pleased to still be a part of it and working as a part of it in my own business. That's pretty much all we've got time for on this video. You'll notice I've posted some special offers throughout the video. If you're interested in any of those special offers, the way to claim the offer, as we did with the 10% discount in the Nottingham Heritage Centre video, is to get in touch. Either you can email us, that's the new A2B Model Railways at outlook.com email address, which we've introduced just for the shop. You can give me a call. 07304 068 905 is the mobile number. We have now got a brand new landline working in the shop as well. We had to change from our old number due to relocation, and I actually can't remember what the number is, so it's going to appear at the bottom of the screen very shortly, so you can give us a call on that. All those offers, that's the discount offers on the locos and the pre-order offer for the 009 locos. Pre-order now, you'll get a discount price on those. They're valid only until the end of June 2025. So a limited time, but you can claim those offers up until the end of the month. We'll be back soon. I've got a new series of videos planned that's a little bit different from our shop move, and there will be another competition coming up next month as well, so watch out for that. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, then please do. Subscribe, like, comment, all the usual stuff. And until next time, stay safe, build your model railways, and I shall see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.